All right, guys, I just got home. I just hit the door, got my groceries put away, and now I can film Isaiah. And we're going to be in Isaiah 57 today. It's Isaiah's futile idolatry. I'm going to get right into it. The righteous perishes, and no man takes it to heart. Merciful men are taken away, while no one considers that the righteous is taken away from evil. He shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. I'm going to read that again. Listen real close to what he says here. The righteous perishes, and no man takes it to heart. Merciful men are taken away, while no one considers that the righteous is taken away from evil. What would be considered evil? Evil in this life, or would it be the evil of the tribulation? Would it be that the righteous are taken away as a mercy? When you first read that, it kind of gives the impression, well, I don't really fully understand what it's saying here, but it's like it's a terrible thing that the righteous are being taken away. But is it really? Is it not a mercy? Is it not a grace that the Lord is showing? The righteous is taken away from evil. He shall enter into peace. Well, where are we going to enter when we pass through? Heaven, peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. Very interesting. It's a blessing to go home, not a cursing. And people will say, oh, what a terrible waste that he was such a good person. She was such a good person and they died. So holy, really believed in their God and everything. And they say it's such a terrible thing. Well, terrible for who? Them or the people saying those words? Because when the righteous go home, it's a victory. It's wonderful. Verse 3, but come here, you sons of the sorceress, you offspring of the adulterer and the harlot. Oof. See, this, for us nowadays, this is just normal speech. This is very strong speech for back then. Very strong. Verse 4, whom do you ridicule? Against whom do you make a wide mouth and stick out the tongue? Are you not children of transgression? Offspring of falsehood? Inflaming yourselves with gods under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys, under the clefts of the rocks? Do you imagine how bad that was back then when they would just have a baby and then kill it with their own hands? And nothing ever came of it. They never got what they were looking for from the gods they were worshiping. Verse 6, among the smooth stones of the stream is your portion. They are your lot. Even to them you have poured a drink offering. You have offered a grain offering. Should I receive comfort in these? On a lofty and high mountain you have set your bed. Even there you went up to offer sacrifice. Also behind the doors and their posts you have set up your remembrance. For you have uncovered yourself to those other than me, and have gone up to them. You have enlarged your bed and made a covenant with them. You have loved their bed when you saw their nudity. You went to the king with ointment and increased your perfumes. You sent your messengers far off and even descended to Sheol. You are wearied in the length of your way, yet you did not say there is no hope. You have found the life in your hand. Therefore you were not grieved. And of whom have you been afraid or feared? That you have lied and not remembered me, nor taken it to heart. Or is it not because I have held my peace from of old, that you do not fear me? There's another key verse. I'm going to highlight this. Is it not because I have held my peace from of old that you do not fear me? Why don't people consider Christianity more now? Oh, God hasn't spoken. Nobody's heard from God. 2,000 years he's been quiet. Like I said before, when he does speak, the whole world will know. Verse 12. Verse 12, I will declare your righteousness and your works, for they will not profit you. When you cry out, let your collection of idols deliver you. But the wind will carry them all away. A breath will take them. But he who puts his trust in me shall possess the land and shall inherit my holy mountain. And one shall say, heap it up, prepare the way. Take the stumbling block out of the way of my people. For thus says the high and lofty one, who inhabits eternity, whose name is holy, I dwell in the high and holy place, with him who has a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. For I will not contend forever, nor will I always be angry, for the spirit would fail before me, and the souls which I have made. Remember what I told you? You can't stand with the Lord. You can't stand before him. He would wipe you out. Verse 17, for the iniquity of his covetousness, I was angry and struck him. I hid and was angry, and he went on backsliding in the way of his heart. I have seen his ways, and will heal him. I will also lead him, and restore comforts to him and to his mourners. I create the fruit of the lips. Peace, peace to him who is far off, and to him who is near, says the Lord, and I will heal him. But the wicked are like the troubled sea, when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no peace, says my God, for the wicked. Another important one to mark. Pretty powerful stuff. There's a clear separation between those that follow God and those that don't. Now, on the outset, when you look at them, you might not immediately see a difference. For all intents and purposes, we look just like everyone else. But when you see the mannerisms of the person, when you see how they interact with others, I watch people today, the masks are off, they can see each other's faces, and I see people glance at my face, but other people ignore them and turn away, and I look at them and smile. Good morning. How's it going? Oh, pretty good. You? I'm doing great, actually. Other people won't even talk to each other anymore. There's a big difference between us and them. And who we are inside shows on the outside. It's revealed on the outside. Those that aren't following God, it shows on the outside too. One of our burdens is for those people. Why won't you see the truth? I've seen the light. Oh, I don't believe in all that stuff. Yeah, but I've seen the light. Not that I've been changed in my way of thinking. It's that I've seen the light. I've seen the reality of the situation. There is no hope in the path you're on. I was on that path with you. Do you remember? Yeah, I remember. But now I'm on a different path, and I see the difference now. I see the change and where both paths lead. And while we're walking side by side, there's coming a point when my path is going to take off upward and yours is going to take off downward. And we will go two different directions. And I cannot go where you're going. I cannot follow you where you are going, because the further along we walk, the more our paths pull apart. Because my God is taking me a different direction. And you get mad at me because you think I'm abandoning you. I'm not abandoning you. I'm trying to get you to come with me. Because it's better over here. And they don't see it. They don't understand. They don't know. They need God to open their eyes. We pray for them. If you pray for anything for anybody, Lord, open their eyes that they see the truth. Elijah did that. Lord, open his eyes that he can see. And he saw all the angels, all the chariots of fire, innumerable, surrounding the mountain. He didn't realize that it was happening right around him, unbeknownst to him. That's happening right now. At any given point in time, you are surrounded by angelic beings. Some on your side, some not. When we learn the truth and we know the reality of it, we can't help but reach out to others and say, hey, I know where this path leads that you're on. I desperately implore you to come this way. And they don't. How do we reach them? It's a quandary. It's a question. I'm having a conversation with my wife. Yeah, she's right. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a lose-lose scenario sometimes. Well, most times. It's just you never know how things are going to come out. And you try and try and try, but they won't listen. You show them the truth, they won't listen. We're having a big debate now, big argument now with Islam. We believe in the same Jesus. We worship the same God. No, I'm afraid we don't. I know that sounds good, and that would be a wonderful way to bridge the gap between Muslims and Christians, but it's not. So many other things, normal everyday things, regular stuff. It's people's mentalities that we fight with. I almost got sideswiped 6 times on the way to San Antonio. On the way to San Antonio. That's not counting on the way back. One was by an 18-wheeler. Twice. People are oblivious to what's going on around them. They're unaware of what's happening. They're unaware that the direction they're driving doesn't lead anywhere good. The direction they walk doesn't lead anywhere good. But when we go, nobody considers it. When they go, everybody cries and mourns. They mourn more for them because they had lost one of their own. When we're gone, nobody remembers it. If I die before the rapture, only a couple of people will remember my passing. Within weeks, my memory will disappear from all but just a select few that are near me. Because I take up I make such a presence in my family, in my life, in my home. When I'm gone, most people won't even remember. Within weeks, within a month, they'll forget. That's how it is with the world. But when you walk into heaven, it is a different story. You are now being welcomed home where you belong. Your family is there welcoming you in, your real family, your spiritual family. Welcoming you in. Your Lord is there. Your God is there, waiting. That's why he takes great joy in the death of his saints. Not because they died, but because they get to come home, and he wants them home. God's not going to make anybody do anything. He wants everybody to choose. We've chosen. Now the goal is to try to get others to make that choice too. Guys, that was Isaiah 57. Tomorrow is Isaiah 58, fasting that pleases God. That ought to be a good one. And that actually, I venture a guess there's a few people watching that have some questions about that. And this might just answer that for you. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys very much. I'll see you all in the next video.